Hello everyone, this is Justin from Unlock the Inbox. I'm going to discuss in this video our blacklist and whitelist scanner tool. Before I kick off into the uses of the tool, I wanted to just take a quick moment to discuss what a blacklist is and how you would end up on a blacklist and why you do not want to remain there. A blacklist is basically a list of IP addresses that have been found to have been sending out spam. This may be because your IP address is on the same IP address block as someone else who's using that IP address to send out spam. It's not uncommon for the maintainers of these blacklists to basically take an entire IP block and put them on the list whenever they find spam is being generated from just one of those IPs. This is I have mixed feelings about this. It's certainly not fair to the people that are not spamming. However, I guess that provides them with an efficient method of combating spam. Yeah, that's one of the industry criticisms of these blacklists, is the fact that people on the same IP blocks or mail servers might get tagged for spam that they're not actually generating. And I'll flip over here to Wikipedia real quick, and I'm already done with the criticism section, and it makes sense because here you see the list of dynamic IP addresses. Legitimate emails blocked along with spam from shared mail servers. There's obviously not a perfect world as far as blacklists are concerned. There's probably some room for improvement there, but it's just good to be aware of these things in case you find yourself on the blacklist. Not to be alarmed right away, and maybe it's don't be concerned that somebody's hacked into your web server or mail server and is now kicking off all this spam. It could just be that you got a bad neighbor. So on this Wikipedia page, you'll notice that there's various terms that are used to describe a blacklist. The DNSBO actually stands for DNS-based black hole list, and RBL actually stands for real-time black hole list. Black hole, blacklist, and blocklist are all pretty much interchangeable terms, which you can see down here at this last line of this first paragraph. So this is a good place to come and get some more information as well. In addition, there's an RFC 5782 to be precise. This is for DNS blacklist and whitelist. It's a very technical read, so if you're into that kind of thing, it might be something good for you. I can tell you this, it's the only RFC I've ever looked at that contains the phrase antisocial behavior, which I thought was kind of funny. And in addition to that, we've also got a handy article on Unlock the Inbox, which, following the left nav over here, if you were to go down to how to avoid, it's this second one right here, being blacklisted. And here we'll basically, cover some of the basic stuff. It's a, I don't want to say for dummies version, but it's the very condensed, like what you need to know version of blacklists and being blacklisted. So you can see that this is a much shorter read than going through that Wikipedia page and or that RFC. I have to cover the basics on this, including things like what to do if you're on a blacklist, how to get off of the blacklist, and some things you can do to avoid being blacklisted in the first place. So you want to be familiar with those kind of things. Alright, moving back over to the tool now. Basically on this tool, it's so simple to use. All you got to do is type in the domain name that you want to check, or the IP address if you want to run it against an IP address. I will tell you this much, if you run it against an IP address, you will get more results because the blacklists out there, there's more of them that function against an IP address versus a domain name. So if you run this against your domain name and you see that you're not on any of the lists, you may also want to run it against your machine's actual IP address as well, to make sure you didn't miss anything. For this example, I'm just going to pop in the domain name for Unlock the Inbox. Alright, so here you can see these are all coming up green. Green is a good thing on the blacklist scanner tab. If these are green, it means you're not on these blacklists. If you happen to see any of these are red, it means you are on this blacklist. And if you place your mouse over one of these links, you don't have to click, but you can if you want to. It'll pop up and it'll give you a link to the website that maintains the blacklist. In addition, it clarifies that once again these are details that only apply for a red status down here. And then basically it'll give you some info here. Click on the link below to look at the PTR and text records The information in those DNS entries will give you clues to why you are on the list. In most cases, you can cross-reference those entries to the information on the Blacklist website to get the details. So those kind of things are going to kind of come in handy. Once you click over to this link, you're going to probably end up needing some of this PTR and text data, okay? So, over here, we actually have this set up for this domain. Make it easy for you. You don't have to go and look up what your IP address is. If you pop in your domain, you'll see this here. It'll automatically pull up this IP address that's associated with that. If there's more than one will show up, and you can scan one at a time, whichever one you want. I'm going to go ahead and scan this based on IP address now so you can see the difference in the results that are going to come back. And when this comes back as well, I'll show you what that whitelist tab looks like. It's not something to be as concerned with because most people are not going to be on a whitelist. The whitelist is the exact opposite of a blacklist. You'll find that there's whitelist maintainers out there that, for example, like Google is probably on whitelist, right? Whenever Google will send out some email, the mail servers that are receiving those, if they subscribe to the whitelist, are going to just automatically let that email go right into the inbox. You know, there's not going to be any questions about it. So that's for like big players in the industry and stuff like that. They'll most likely be on there. You yourself, I would not worry about it. We've managed to find our way onto 2 of them, which is awesome. Definitely always a plus to see your green dots on here, but you're mostly going to see red dots like this. There's really not a whole lot you can do about it. So, and again, and this is kind of the opposite. You know, these details apply to the green status. Flipping back over here to the blacklist scanner, you'll notice that this list is much longer, much longer than it was before. Okay. So, going by IP address is definitely going to be more beneficial. You'll see that we've actually got a couple here. Some of these, you're going to find that while you're trying to get off of these blacklists, sometimes you're going to run into some issues. There's been several times where we've tried to get off of blacklists before with people that we've showed up on, and the blacklist maintainer is not speaking English, which is the language that we know, and in order to communicate with them and try to get removed from these blacklists creates there's a language barrier that's there. We've had success getting off of those lists regardless of the language barrier with the help of things like Google Translate, believe it or not, has definitely come in handy. But just keep in mind you may run into some challenges getting these off, and some of these businesses may also be like black hat style businesses where they've basically set these blacklists up for the sole purpose of listing your IP address on there, and when you come to them to have it removed, they'll do it if you pay them money. I would definitely encourage you not to support those businesses and not give them money. I would say just stay on those blacklists because nobody's going to take them seriously, I can promise you that. And it should definitely not be impacting your performance for your deliverability of your emails. I'm going to go into the member section of the site now where we'll cover setting up the automation of blacklist monitoring. You come to this page here and you got to manually go through all of this stuff, but we've actually got it set up to where we'll be able to monitor that for you on an automated basis and send the emails out to you. Now, if you've already got your website set up and alert schedules and all that stuff set up in the member side and you want to go ahead and kick this off, it'll be a few less steps. But if you don't have that, then no worries. If you don't have these sites set up yet at all and you wanted to monitor this particular domain, you could either click this button or do what we're going to do now, which is going to be basically to swing over to the dashboard. Alright, I've got everything deleted out so that it'll be starting from scratch. If you've already set these up, you may want to skip forward about a minute. I'm going to go ahead and, up here you'll see the notice. You got to start with your sites and your alert schedules. So I'm just going to open these guys up in new tabs by holding down Control and clicking in Firefox. So I'm going to set up my site, add up my new site here, unlock the inbox in there. I do have admin access, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to say no to that and SSL. I'm going to make this active. If you set this to no, then you won't be able to really do anything with it. So that's it, nice and easy. I've now used one of my 3 sites. If you ever need more, just click on Add More, and we'll get you taken care of on that. And I'm going to add my new alert schedule now. Give this alert schedule a name. I'm going to call this Daily 8 a.m. and you'll see why in a minute. I want this to run every X number of days, so I'm going to put run every 1 day. And there you go. So every 1 day at 8 a.m. means daily at 8 a.m. And I'm going to send this to test@example.com and save that. Alright, now that that's set up and my site is set up, refresh this page. Now what we're going to do is look over here onto the left and find Blacklist monitoring. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm currently not monitoring anything for Blacklists, so I'm going to go ahead and add my first one. I've got only one site, so this will default to the only site I've got. If you want to exclude any of these blacklists, this is a place to do it. Like you saw on the front page, there was 2 of them that we have for Unlock the Inbox. If I didn't want to get alerts for those because I've tried to contact them and I'm just not getting through and I'm not able to get myself off of those, I already know that it's there. You can come in here and check these off so that you won't be alerted for those. I'll just pick a few of them at random. And that way you don't have to worry about getting that email every single day saying, hey, you're on this blacklist. In fact, you already know you're on that blacklist and you're working to remediate that. So for the alerts when, I would encourage you to select on list for this. So this means you'll be alerted whenever you're found to be on a list. So when we're scanning in the background for you on a continuous basis, if we find you on a list, we're going to send you out that notice. If you prefer to get these notices every day saying basically you're not on these lists, then you can go ahead and put it to any status, and then basically if we see you on a list, we'll send you an email with the report. If we see you not on a list, we'll send you out an email with the report. I'm going to put for this purpose on list is the only time I want to be done, and alert schedule is going to be daily at 8 a.m. That's why it's important to be specific with the naming of the alert schedules you set up, because if you've set up like 10, 15, 20 different alert schedules for the various things you've got set up, and you open this drop-down list and there's just all these things there, it might be hard to understand what means what. So try to give those a meaningful name. It'll just make your life easier. So once that's done, I'll go ahead and save that. And there you go. You can see it's included all of the blacklists that I will be excluding. So when we're doing the scan, we'll just completely skip over those guys. And when the scan kicks off and caches this one for the first time, this last scan field right here will get populated with a date and time, so you'll know whenever it's been done. You can always come back in here and just edit the one that's existing, or if you want to get rid of it, you can just click on delete, and that'll get rid of that alert for you. I'll flip back over here to the dashboard now, and you'll see under sites currently being monitored for a blacklist. It now shows this, so you got the bird's eye view of what's going on as far as my automated blacklist monitoring goes. So that's pretty much it. That'll cover the blacklist scanner and the whitelist scanner. If you have any questions, post them in a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit us at the forum. Post a link and say hello. We've got an introduction section on there just waiting for you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great day.